present situation that we are in.
Femi, I
It's
really
that
love to
simple.
know what constituency you're running under, so that if your constituency member or your ward members are listening to you now, they can highlight or point some of the things that problems we have highlighted is that some people don't know their councillors or their chairman. So you are a candidate running for the councillor of a particular local government, but I want to hear from the candidate's mouth, what constituency are you running, or what ward in that sense are you running under?
I'm Ward of
Wonderful.
Ward 8
So,
Truth.
okay, so if for our audience watching us, we have Femi Falowo here, who is running for Councillor Amuodofintu in Lagos State. So now I will want to ask him, so I'm going to be asking as your mouthpiece in this sense, as the voice of the people, what do you think that you are offering that's different from the APC or the PDP structures that have been dominating the state?
Well, I would now not like to really go much into details because we'll not be doing much of we can't be doing campaigning much. Yeah, we can't be doing campaigning because like I said, we always follow the law and the procedures.
Absolutely.
So till I said, okay, after Thursday, I think Wednesday, Thursday with you, but definitely I'm not going to campaign. I'm going to answer your question in a very simple way so that you not look as if I'm trying to make myself better than other candidates.
Yeah.
But what I definitely do know is that the people in Amuodofin, they need good training system. They need this, the infrastructural development is the key now to that place. They need the movement of Amuodofin need good medical health care. In terms of, when I say medical health care, I'm specific about it in terms of drugs, because over time, our observation is that now drugs are on the eye. So primary health care is the key. They need basic kits. We can, our older people, we can get them basic kits at home where they can use for their body temperature. And so those things, we should be looking at our elderly people. I'm very particular about that because I have experience with people that are old. So not necessarily my family, but people that are around my community. So I really know their pain. So we should also be looking at sports. I for one, I play football. I'm a member of a football team, a better football club in my community. So I have seen so many talents. These talents are unique. They are special. They are magnificent. But nobody is seeing those talents. All those talents can only be noticed when somebody is from the grassroots.
Absolutely.
So personally, I, as a cinematographer before now, as a media person, will know how to make all those things come to fore, how to make sure people with skills, people with intellectual capacity in terms of knowledge and any other skills their potentials, we want to make it to come to fore. So I think that's basically what the local government should be looking at. So it might not necessarily be that you have to monetize things for people, but let people benefit. Even though when somebody is entering your community, I see that there's solar light. Even though there's no light, you see that there's solar light. A sense of belonging, a sense of security. So basically, what the people are asking for is they are not asking, it's not rocket science. It's just basic need of life. And I think the local government will evolve just around that parameter. So basically, that's just the thing I think the people want. And if the people want that, they should be able to, choose the right person for the job. So
yes.
That's basically what I think.
Thank you very much. I love how you diplomatically answered that question and still giving the people the sense of choice to choose regardless of what, but the answers are as plain, as simple as possible. With all of this said, you mentioned earlier about the concerns about voter apathy and the fact that it starts with you and I, and people have to come out to vote. Regardless of all of that, people will still feel that, okay, there's no need for them. There's also low awareness when it comes to these local government election. I have been screaming local government elections since the moment that people started to declare that they were running for councillors or chairmen. But it almost seems like every time I'm talking about it, the larger number of people are not aware of some of these things that's happening. So how aware do you think that people are that this election is happening tomorrow, especially in Amu Dofi, and how ready do you think they are to ensure that they're coming out to vote for these elections?
Well, for people that are politically inclined, they are very much aware. even in Nigeria, not just Lagos, in Nigeria, people that are into politics, any person that you can say that is politics there. But as regard our people that are not into politics, private people, most of them, they are not even putting their mind there. That was why I was talking about them, that we need them to achieve greatness in our community.
Yeah.
Some are aware, some don't even want to, they don't even care. But but what I really discover over time is that the National Orientation Agency, I'm not really impressed with the job they are doing, and probably the body itself, the other bodies that are responsible for PR to enlighten people. We have the minister. You have so many bodies that should be involved in them to sanitize people. Let them know the importance of these elections. But people are not really aware, I must say. It was just in recent times that towards this election that people started doing the big rally. That was when people started seeing stuff and stuff. So I think there should be an orientation going forward. Going forward, there must be an orientation that this vote is important. So date. Just like the day we know that this is June 12, June whatever, and June, we should also know that so dates are important dates. Let people be aware. And TV stations themselves, they are not really promoting it. It's not as if they are showing, election adverts. I'm always online. I see how things works. Even our youth, we don't see them posting election or whatever. So I think that is something. It's a very serious issue. So we have a lot of work to do in Nigeria. A lot of work. So that was why I was telling you that I'm tired of blaming people. Blaming is not going to change the narrative. People are going to change the narrative. That's why we say we need to sanitize people about voting, about your right. It's your right to vote. It's your right to come out. Nobody can intimidate you. Nobody can disenfranchise you from performing your civil duty. All you have to do is to do the right thing and stay with your vote. Make sure your vote counts. So when you do that, over time, you now see, like the last election we had, people were complaining about so many things, irregularities. After the election, people sat back and they were watching. After they will complain again, they will sit back. They are not doing anything about it. Meanwhile, there are the people they are complaining about, they are not sleeping.
Absolutely.
They are strategizing. I don't know if they are making things happen for themselves, no matter how you think they are bad or good. And you are just sitting down. So, okay, you to now weigh it. How can you now mitigate between those two lines? Mm-hmm. When some people are having the other portion working endlessly, you now say, it does not concern me. I'm not a politician.
I can really relate to what you're saying, Femi, because I've ran twice for elections, and in 2021, I ran for councillorship of my own ward too. And I remember very well that after we voted during the elections, I made it known to some people that we all have to go to the local government office because these are where the ballot boxes goes to us for collation and all of that stuff. But they're like, we have voted now, don't worry, the best party will win. And so it just brings us to know that a lot of people are not aware that apart from voting, is also protecting your vote by all means. It's your right, it's your duty to protect your votes by all means so that you can get the result that you really want to achieve and not just being passive about it. But we need to go on a break right now, and then we'll return, talking more about some of the challenges that you face or that we face as Nigerians when it comes to local government elections and more conversations around that. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we'll connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Welcome back to the show. You are still watching Politics Uncensored, and we're discussing understanding the local government, election for July 12, which is tomorrow. So I don't know. This is more like an awareness episode, because it's important that when we talk about things that currently affect us, we also have to talk about the recent things that are happening, and then how we need to know, or how you need to know how to also get involved, what you need to do, how to prepare for some of these changes that will occur for another 4 years of our lives. And then regardless of all the challenges that might happen, maybe voter apathy, low awareness, all of this ballot snatching here and there, that I'm hoping that doesn't happen tomorrow. It's just to know that you have the right to vote. You must vote. If you don't vote, just like our guests have mentioned, you're already giving whoever it is that wants to cheat or intimidate anybody in that sense the avenue to do so. So please make it harder for people who want to corrupt people, make it harder for them to do whatever they want to do. But we still have Femi here, and I would also love to know if he has or his party has faced any challenges with access or intimidation or bias, maybe from Amuwo, or even when they were registering their candidacy.
Well, to be very sincere with you, I can't say I really faced any intimidation, because in my community, I was born here in Namu Ward of Him, so I'm not just coming, I've been here. So it's my heritage. I school in Namu Ward of Him, so I play ball, I do everything here. So intimidation is not even, it's out of it. Intimidation is, but for the process of the documentation, like I said, I'm not trying to, I will give kudos to LASEC for that. I'm not trying to be, I'm not saying because I'm a candidate, but on that documentation, I think they tried, if you are not validated, that means your documentation is not complete. So I don't think, but I also think that you work more on the way the validate candidates, the time frame, so that there will not be people crowding their vicinity. No, I think they should work on that. But any other thing, I think, so for now, I won't lie to you, I've not really faced any serious challenge.
Okay, that's wonderful. I like that you also mentioned that. And it brings me to know that sometimes running has to be from your locality. That's why it's called local government election. And even though you've lived longer, you just moved there, whatever it is, understanding that space is one of the most important things that you need to know to actually make real impact. So I'm glad that you have, beyond living and growing in Amowodofi, you have seen the need to still advance that. Amowodofi have given you some level of, invested in you in some level of, traits and power. So I like that you have also taken that mantle to also lead in that sense. So how can young people, like you, who are very much in tune with their community, engage more in local governance beyond the social commentary that we see every time that's happening? Okay, I think we've lost Femi at this point. So maybe this question is also for our viewers. How do you think that young people, should meaningfully engage in local governance beyond social commentary? For me, it goes beyond just texting and tweeting about the election. While these can create awareness, it still brings voter apathy into the play, because most people tweet about how they will not show up. Most people tweet about how the ballot boxes will be snatched, rather than the time how people should actually come together and actually go and vote at the election. So I'm hoping that tomorrow really brings us that, free and fair elections, just like our guest has mentioned, will really bring. And then, youth activism also is something that I hope that beyond just going out screaming, beyond screaming, oh yes, let's vote, let's do this, let's do that, protests and all of that, is the fact that you go and put that finger. You put that finger on that ballot paper and stamp your candidate that is credible. A lot of times we see candidates that when you start to ask them, what's your manifesto, what do you want to bring to the table, they're like, I'm just here to chop the money alongside everybody that has done that before me. But I've also seen the version of youth who have come out to shape the narrative or change the narrative that politics is dirty or politics is not what people should be involved in. And the grassroots level is very, very critical when it comes to governance. We've seen how these local government chairmen and councillors are the ones that also bring people together to vote for their governorship candidates, for the House of Assembly candidates, and all of these people that would be on that top that we're usually clamoring about. So for me, even looking beyond just what's happening at the election is also what happens post-election. So what other awareness are you going to drive post-election? Are you going to stay stuck and be like, oh, our candidate did not win, and then sit back? If we really want progress, we always have to have resilience and determination in all aspects. And this is also talking to some of the candidates there. If you are elected, please prioritize your local government, prioritize your constituents in your local government, in your wards. The importance of the development you bring to them is the impact that they will always talk about. So don't stay and they just feel like they don't need transparency. Please include community engagement in that sense and accountability in office. I know a lot of local government offices that are not accessible to a lot of people, and that makes, maybe in that sense, very sad. I would say that the local government election is the first tier of government. This is me now saying, if we are doing electoral reforms, let us reshape that and say that the local government is the first tier of government, so that we can start finding importance in this sense. So if there's anything that you want to do, go to LISEC website, start to find what candidate. If you know the name of your candidate, find it. Go to their Instagram page, ask for their manifesto, know what their campaign plans are. Ask if you need to volunteer, volunteer. Some of them are still struggling to have polling unit agents. Some are still struggling to have, canvassers and all of these things. So if you could volunteer beyond voting, you could volunteer to do all of this for them. So we'll go on a break right now, and then we return, basically wrapping up the show for tomorrow, so everyone can get to their individual houses to prepare for the election. So please stay tuned.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode. And that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show. I hope you have learned a thing or two from our candidate of the heads of the I say our candidate of the SDP who is running for Amowo Duffy in this sense. We have so many of them running for elections on different party platforms. So I hope that you can take the time to prepare against tomorrow and start to ask the questions and make it proper determination in your mind to who you want to vote for, how you want to protect that vote, and how you hold that person accountable when the person gets in. So as you prepare to head to the polls tomorrow, one thing is always going to be clear, and we have seen from our conversation that democracy doesn't just happen in Abuja. It begins on our streets, like people who are running for this election. It also begins in our wards and at the local council offices that we have all seen, either so fancy or dilapidated in this sense. The elections are not small. Don't consider that the local government elections are small. They are deeply, deeply consequential for us. So if we want change, we must show up where it matters most. Let's start asking questions. I've repeated this over and over again. If you don't ask questions, you will never get answers for it. So let's start asking questions. Let's start demanding performance and, refuse to be sidelined over and over and over again. I'm speaking more importantly to young people. This is not the time to be lackadaisical about the local government elections. This is not the time to think that your vote or your right has been taken for you. Please go out and vote, because the fight for good governance starts from the ground up. So I want to thank you for joining us on Politics Uncensored to have this conversation, and also to our guest who has also joined us to even beyond the busy schedule and trying to plan his elections to come and give us insights on what is to expect tomorrow and what has even happened over time. So until next time, stay woke, stay involved, and never stop demanding better. Before I go, do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. I'll see you again next week with another amazing conversation. See you and bye-bye.